That's kind of funny. Everybody, the biggest aviation headline of last week was, of course, the famous Delta Atlanta incident, where an A350 was able to clean shave off the whole T-tail of the CRJ-900. Company traffic, both Delta. And this is actually such a confusing event for me. Look, here's ATC coverage right here. The A350 clips the tail of the CRJ.
Right. We just hit something on the taxiway. Could you tell us what it was?
Obviously, it was a CRJ-900, which now doesn't have a tail anymore. Great.
You know, I just noticed that the tail on the RJ is missing. So Endeavor 5526, hold your position, and you
right, so Endeavor 5526, that's this airplane that doesn't have a tail anymore. This is a wrong display.
We're holding our position and stand by on no immediate assistance. We'll need a tow though.
I've never heard of more relaxed pilots that just been crashed into on the ground.
The whole tail of that CRJ's off.
Yeah, good observation. Obviously, after that, the pilots jumped out the airplanes and exchanged insurance information. Honestly, the insurance thing will be a big dilemma. I mean, Hartsfield-Jackson Airport of Atlanta is the busiest airport in the world. But once again, I'm immensely confused here. Obviously, the pilots of the A350 claim that they were on the taxiway center line, which they maybe were. But how are they so unaware of their wing clearance that they were able to just clean shave off that CRJ-900? Was the CRJ-900 standing too far away from the holding point of the runway 08, right? Actually, in fact, it kind of was. Take a look. It was not very much at the holding point at all, which is something that the A350 should have been able to see, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't fly the A350. Oh, God. Obviously, no one was hurt in this accident, with the exception of the 900. We'll never fly again. But it sure is a good day to not be the pilots of either one of those planes, because, yeah, that's going to be a big fight about who's to blame, who pays the money. But everybody, I can help the NTSB out. I know who's at fault. Take a look who's photobombing here. I know exactly who's at fault. Of course, it's Boeing. Boeing always has to be involved. Everybody's Boeing. All right, we're going to sue Boeing about this. So this is great. Once again, CRJ-900 will not be able to fly. Honestly, I was quite amazed by how smoothly the tail was able to be ripped off. The brakes on this plane are amazing, apparently. I mean, the rest of the airframe didn't really notice that impact. Perfect job, CRJ. Once again, luckily the CRJ did not fly. Again, it will never will. And we'll probably see why. I mean, we spent years studying the problems of having a missing vertical stabilizer. Now, it's not only the vertical stabilizer that's missing, it's the whole T-tail. Very interesting design for sure. Let me try to take off, which obviously isn't going to work. We're probably going to spiral out of control before we even leave the ground. At lower speeds, we're able to steer the airplane with obviously the nose landing gear, but at higher speed, that nose landing gear is going to become very ineffective, and all right, we're already dying. Sorry. All right. Okay. This was just a little drifting maneuver. No worries. Yeah, this plane is cooked. Maybe we see. Can we spawn this thing into midair and just see what happens? Like, this is missing everything. Like, this obviously does not have an elevator anymore, so we're just gonna probably fall to the ground. Jeez, I've never seen a CRJ that's crashed more than this. All right. And now we're upside down. We're dead. And rest in peace. So, Delta, if you ever want to sell maybe like an MCDU of a CRJ to me, then you can do that. You know, for the home cockpit. This does not go well. At least they had a bus to escort the passengers off. And to the A350 crew, I mean, you'd be a good barber. I mean, that's a clean shave. I would trust this guy to cut hair. Brain rot video. Okay. Now, everybody, of course, we can always be glad about any aircraft collision that doesn't happen in the air. That's good. As we see, I would like to experiment around with that T-tail. I mean, what happened if we removed the whole horizontal stabilizer? That's probably a stupid idea. Everybody, yes, perhaps we can take off with this configuration. Now, obviously, for a ground collision to cause this type of damage, you'd have to you need two A350s. Great. Okay, let's maybe see if we can take off. At least now we don't like spiral out of control. We have our vertical stabilizer that, of course, still has a rudder actually that works. And now this is good. We are at 140 knots. The problem is obviously we are unable to pull up. Pulling up doesn't do anything because the elevators of this plane are in the horizontals. This is quite stupid. Are we ever able to actually take flight? Probably not. Come on, CRJ-1000. You're able to do this. Come on. Yes! All right, we've crashed into water. Let's maybe just spawn ourselves up into the air. Yeah, the CRJ-1000 flies magnificently. Actually, it doesn't spiral at least. Okay, now it does. Okay. I guess if we put the flaps down all the way, we might be able to... Oh, Jesus Christ. So yeah, losing any type of wing is very bad. That hasn't worked. All right, and now we've lost engines. Hey, but here we go. We didn't crash. That's kind of dumb. All right, quite a chaotic flight then. I mean, what would happen if we were to lose only one horizontal stabilizer? Now, this should work a bit better. Now, this would require extreme precision from an A350 pilot. So maybe take a look if we can take off. Come on, full into the flaps. Very nice. Yes. As you can see, the horizontal stabilizer poses no issue. Look, the elevator is actually able to move. It's just, I don't know why, but there's like some visual bug in there that shouldn't happen. Anyway, come on. 100 knots. We might have to kind of counteract this a bit with using the rudders, maybe. Come on. Yeah. Oh, yes. We're able to actually fly. Good to know. Here we go. It just flies a little bit awkward, actually. But there we go. We aren't even drifting that much. This is a very stable flight. This is actually good to know. All right, so here's a Swissair one top tip. If you are on a CRJ, don't worry about one horizontal stabilizer. If that falls off, the plane actually is able to fly pretty well. You're able to trim this out quite... I mean, okay, if we let go of the controls, the plane banks to the right slightly because of the drag that the horizontal stabilizer obviously induces, but we can just trim that out very easily. Look, now it works. Yes, this is actually genuinely modeled. This is great. Once again, I don't really think of any instance where this ever happened in real life because the force required for one horizontal stabilizer is probably close to the force required to tear up the whole thing. But there we go. I mean, why didn't CRJ design their jet like this? I mean, seems perfectly good and saves weight and stuff. Or maybe pulling up and, okay, you have a little bit less of vertical control, but who needs that? Or actually, you know what? Actually, I think a landing is going to be quite interesting. When we do a flare, we have to kind of completely deflect that little elevator surface that's left. Probably going to make us bank heavily to the right, something like that. Let's maybe be prepared for that. I'm going to use a little bit of rudder just to steer against that. Let's go ahead and try to land here at La Mole Airport. Yeah, we need a little bit more speed, and I need to pull up quite a bit more just to stay afloat. But other than that, this plane flies very usual. There you go. Come on. You're doing fine. Stop complaining. Beautiful. And it's now time to stop. Full power into reverse thrust. Very, very nice. Never mind. We've actually stopped. Perfect, everybody. There we go. And look, even at higher speed and altitude, this works without any issues. And it's pretty funny. Even the autopilot works. Take a look. I've got the autopilot on right now. For some reason, the textures are broken. Please ignore that. We can change heading, and this plane will change heading without any issues. So, buddy, I think the Minus Aura Awards of 2024 go to the pilots of the planes involved. Always watch your vertical stabilizer and your right wing. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow as always. Good night. And a special thanks goes out to my members, my supporters, Guns Killer, R27, James Duram, That Dude, Anime Gods of Gaming, Derek, Insider Plane, Nishijitsu Finder, Professional Jamal, Ryland Williams, and New the York. You've got beautiful names.